I'd been sleeping overnight at the Marijuana Party headquarters, but it was still on the south side, the Marijuana Party of Alberta headquarters, back when I was leader of that. And the phone rang, and it was I can't remember what time it was actually, but the thing was, it was in the morning, and it was my buddy, and he says, "Hey, some Arab terrorists just flew some planes into the World Trade Center of the Pentagon." I said, "Yeah, right." He goes, "Yeah, no, they did it. Just turn on the TV, man." I said, "What channel?" He said, "Doesn't matter." So I turned it on. Sure enough, there it was. So I was in shock, like everybody else. A little while later, I'm standing there, and just a little while after they'd said on the announcement that they'd heard over the radio from the New York Fire Department that they should be able to get the thing out in about 15 minutes, and they only needed about 2 hoses. I'm watching a shot where this woman comes up to the hole where the plane crashed through, and she's waving. Well, since they said it was only going to take 15 minutes and 2 hoses, this didn't seem to be too unusual. Then the tower fell. Like the second tower. Or first tower, I can't remember. Whatever. The tower that I was looking at fell. And I got goosebumps all over me, and the hair went up on the back of my neck, and I was just major heebie-jeebies, because I realized that what I had just seen said that the collapse didn't happen at the impact zone, and that the floors above the impact zone and the floors below kind of all seemed to fall at the same time. It looked like, to me, controlled demolition. Well, that's a hell of an assumption to make. So I started watching more. And they were repeating it over and over again. And I'm standing there all creeped out, thinking to myself that I'm too paranoid. And then I thought, well, how could I possibly know for sure? Well, 2 ideas came to my mind. One was the seismic records. See, I already knew about Oklahoma City and its weird seismic records. And all the ambiguity that goes around that. So I went and I decided I was going to look that up. But on the day, the thing that I thought of that I could do was stick a tape into the VCR and tape the fall. Time the fall. Get on the net. Find out how high the World Trade Center was. Figure out how fast a ball fallen in free fall from that height would take to go to hit the ground. Now, it had been a while since I'd figured out that 9.8 meters per second crap, but I did it. Took me a while, and it said about 10 seconds, just a little under. Then I taped the thing, and sure enough, 10 seconds. Well, that would imply no resistance. How the hell could a fire-caused building collapse offer no resistance? So I knew something was wrong. And then I heard Dan Rather say, just like a controlled demolition. So I got on the net and I emailed George Bush. And I said, I don't think that the TV's telling me the truth right now. So far as I can see, someone had to stand down NORAD. There was that one passenger jet off New York, and then there was that other one, that plane that was flying, the Cessna near the White House. They just shot him down. They had surface-to-air missiles in place. At the White House, and the eastern seaboard of the United States is supposedly the most heavily defended airspace in the world. The only guys that had all of the capacity to pull this off, the only organization that I can think of who could have possibly done this, is the United States government. They're the only ones that have all of the means available to them to do it. If I'm right. And I think I am. So after I told George Bush that maybe if Arabs did do it, that the reason was because they deserved it, and that I didn't believe that Arabs did do it in the first place. Like maybe it was Arab patsies. And I sent the thing off and forgot that I'd sent the email until a few days later. So I get back to the marijuana party headquarters, and it's obvious that somebody's busted in. So I go looking around. The cash is still there. The stash is still there. What? Someone busted in and didn't take the cash and the stash? So I'm looking for what's missing. I'm looking and looking and looking. So I finally found out what's missing. The membership list. Thank God we only had a few members then. Thank God it was only a list of the hardcores that was probably already on their lists. We were brand new then.
That was in 2001?
Yeah.
Right after 9/11?
Right after 9/11. In September. It's in the Edmonton... The call I made to the Edmonton Police Service to investigate the break-in is probably in their records or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of officers came around. One was... a dick. And the other one was... I don't know... I actually thought they weren't playing good cop, bad cop. One was a dick and one was okay, you know. That was my impression. They weren't actually trying to play it. So the one that's okay lingers behind a little bit. And on the way out the door, I thought he muttered under his breath, "Fucking Americans." Now, I'm not sure.
Can you say that a little louder?
Fucking Americans.
Okay. Just saw it for the record.
Thing is, we were not attracting enough attention as a freakazoid political weirdo party before that to have people busting in our door, not even for our cash and stash. Why would someone want to bust in and get our membership list? It's like this. We were going to have to eventually give it to the government of Alberta anyway. We were trying to incorporate ourselves as a political party.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so what was the point of all that?
Why did they need it so quick?
Mm-hmm.
Who would need it so quick? Why would anybody motivated to bust in and just steal that list? So far as I can tell, that was the only thing missing. That's about all I'll say about that one today.
It was the interview. Thank
Okay.
you very much.